Welcome back to Iraqi Dinar Official, the channel where we bring you the most important updates on global currencies, the US dollar, Iraqi dinar developments, geopolitical power shifts, and the hidden financial moves shaping your future. If you are serious about understanding money, global control, and economic change before the mainstream media tells you too late, then you are in the right place. Make sure you watch this entire video, because what we are about to discuss today could change how you see the US dollar forever. Today's topic has sent shockwaves through financial markets, political circles, and global power centers. Reports are emerging that Donald Trump is furious as the US dollar starts falling fast. This is not just a normal market correction, and this is not just another political headline. This is about power, influence, global dominance, and the future of the world's reserve currency. The US dollar has long been the backbone of global trade, oil transactions, and international debt systems. But now, cracks are appearing, and those cracks are growing faster than many experts expected. Donald Trump has always measured American strength through economic dominance, and for him, a strong dollar is not just about money. It is about national pride, control, and leverage over the rest of the world. Throughout his presidency and even after leaving office, Trump repeatedly emphasized that America must remain economically superior. He warned that reckless spending, uncontrolled debt, and weak leadership would eventually damage the dollar. Now, as the dollar begins to slide against major global currencies, insiders say Trump is privately enraged, blaming current leadership for what he sees as economic sabotage. The US dollar falling rapidly sends a dangerous signal to global markets. When investors lose confidence in the dollar, they begin searching for alternatives. We are already seeing this happen as central banks around the world quietly reduce their dollar reserves. Countries that once depended heavily on the dollar for trade settlements are now experimenting with local currencies, gold-backed systems, and even digital assets. This shift is subtle but extremely powerful, and Trump understands exactly what this means. A weaker dollar means less global influence, higher inflation at home, and reduced control over international financial systems. Behind closed doors, Trump has reportedly been vocal about the Federal Reserve's policies, accusing it of playing political games rather than protecting the American economy. He has long criticized interest rate decisions, arguing that poor monetary policy weakens the dollar and empowers America's rivals. As the dollar falls, Trump sees it as confirmation of his warnings. To him, this is not accidental. It is the result of what he calls irresponsible governance, endless money printing, and a lack of economic discipline. The falling dollar has real consequences for everyday Americans. When the dollar loses value, imports become more expensive, fuel prices rise, and inflation eats away at savings. Trump's anger is not just about political optics. It is about the long-term damage to the middle class. A weaker dollar means Americans pay more for food, energy, and basic necessities. Meanwhile, foreign creditors holding US debt begin questioning whether the dollar is still the safest asset in the world. At the same time, global powers like China and Russia are watching closely. They have spent years preparing for a future where the dollar is no longer dominant. Bilateral trade agreements that bypass the dollar are increasing, and alternative payment systems are gaining traction. Trump sees this as a direct threat to American supremacy. For decades, the dollar allowed the United States to finance massive deficits without immediate consequences. But if the world starts turning away from the dollar, that privilege could disappear faster than anyone expects. Trump's fury also comes from the political implications of a falling dollar. Economic weakness is often linked to leadership credibility, and Trump believes a declining currency undermines America's image as a global leader. He has always marketed himself as a dealmaker who strengthens the economy. A falling dollar, in his view, hands political ammunition to rivals and weakens America's negotiating power on the world stage. Financial analysts are divided on how serious this decline is, but many agree that the speed of the dollar's drop is concerning. Currency markets usually move slowly, but recent fluctuations suggest growing uncertainty. Inflation data, rising debt levels, and geopolitical tensions are all contributing to the pressure. Trump has reportedly warned that once confidence is lost, it is extremely difficult to restore. History has shown that reserve currencies do not collapse overnight, but when the decline begins, it often accelerates unexpectedly. This is where the conversation becomes especially relevant for Iraqi dinar followers. As the dollar weakens, emerging markets and developing economies see opportunities. Iraq, with its vast oil reserves and ongoing financial reforms, could benefit from a shifting global currency landscape. If the dollar loses dominance, countries like Iraq may gain more flexibility in trade, currency valuation, and economic independence. This is why so many investors are closely watching both the dollar's decline and Iraq's monetary future. Trump has also expressed frustration with allies who he believes are exploiting a weakening dollar. When the dollar falls, exports from other countries become more competitive, putting American industries at a disadvantage. Trump has always favored strong trade positions and believes that currency weakness invites unfair competition. His anger reflects a broader concern that America is losing control over the global economic system it once dominated. Social media reactions to Trump's comments have been intense. Supporters argue that he warned about this exact scenario, while critics claim the situation is more complex and cannot be blamed on one administration. Regardless of political views, the reality remains that the dollar is under pressure, and that pressure is reshaping global financial strategies. Investors are diversifying, central banks are adjusting, and ordinary people are feeling the impact through rising prices and economic uncertainty. As the dollar continues to slide, speculation is growing about what Trump would do differently if given power again. Would he push for aggressive interest rate changes, tighter fiscal policies, or confrontations with the Federal Reserve? Would he accelerate trade wars to protect American industries? These questions are no longer theoretical. They are part of a larger debate about the future direction of the U.S. economy. The anger Trump feels is also symbolic of a broader shift in the global order. For decades, the dollar was untouchable. Today, that certainty is fading. Even small declines in confidence can trigger massive capital movements. Gold prices rising alongside dollar weakness suggest that investors are seeking safety outside traditional systems. Digital currencies and alternative assets are gaining legitimacy as hedges against dollar instability. For viewers of Iraqi Dinar Official, this moment is critical. Currency changes do not happen in isolation. When the dollar moves, everything moves. Oil prices, emerging market currencies, global debt, and geopolitical power structures all respond. Trump's fury is a signal that something deeper is happening beneath the surface. Whether you support him or not, his reaction highlights the seriousness of the situation. The question now is how far the dollar will fall and how fast. Will this be a temporary correction or the beginning of a long-term decline? Trump believes the damage could become irreversible if current policies continue. Others argue the dollar will recover due to lack of viable alternatives. But one thing is certain, the world is watching, and decisions made now will shape the financial future for decades. As this situation unfolds, Iraq's position in the global economy becomes even more important. Currency reforms, oil revenue management, and international partnerships could place Iraq in a stronger position if global systems realign. This is why Iraqi dinar investors remain alert, analyzing every signal coming from Washington, Wall Street, and global central banks. Trump's anger, the dollar's decline, and the global reaction are all interconnected pieces of a much larger puzzle. This is not just about politics. This is about money, power, and the direction of the world economy. Those who understand these shifts early are the ones who can prepare, adapt, and protect themselves from financial turbulence. Stay connected with Iraqi Dinar Official because we will continue to break down these complex global developments in simple, clear language. The fall of the dollar, Trump's reaction, and the future of global currencies are stories that are still unfolding. What happens next could surprise everyone, and missing these updates could cost you valuable insight. If you found this analysis valuable, make sure to like the video, subscribe to Iraqi Dinar Official, and turn on notifications so you never miss an important update. The financial world is changing fast, and we are here to make sure you stay informed, aware, and ahead of the curve.